Last week we have studied about Dhruv Maharaj. We had the story of Dhruv Maharaj, right? And this time we will be hearing a story about Prahlad Maharaj. Before that, we will get into Guru Pranam by Kriti. Kriti, are you there?
Yes, Prabhu. Can you hear me, Prabhu? Prabhuji?
Yeah, I can hear you. Kriti is not there.
Prabhu, shall I start the Guru Pranam?
Can anyone else start Guru Pranam?
Prabhu, I'm
Krishna, Prabhu, can I?
Hare Krishna. Please go ahead. Who is this?
Prabhu. Kirti Prabhu.
Kirti. Okay, please go ahead.
Om Ajnanatimarandasya Jnananjana Salakaya Sakshurunmilidamene Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha.
Hare Krishna. So, we'll get into the story of Prahlad Maharaj. Though Prahlad is the hero of this story, the story began long before Prahlad was born. It began with four saintly persons, Sanaka, Sanatana, Sanandana, and Sanat Kumara. Can you repeat the names? Sanaka, Sanatana, Sanandana, and Sanat Kumara. Though they were living since millions of years, they looked like 4 or 5-year-old boys. They were very saintly people, sages. Okay. During their life, they had a lot about Lord Krishna, the supreme power. So, they wanted to visit him in Vaikunta, Lord Krishna's world. Can you name the Lord Krishna's heavenly world?
Vaikunta.
Vaikunta. And do you know where was it? It was way beyond the stars, above the stars. So these four boys were the best boys in the world. They were sure that Lord Krishna will let them enter his kingdom. With that hope, they started their journey to Vaikunta. And when they reached the gates of the Vaikunta, they were so anxious that they rushed towards the entrance. But do you know what happened there? When they reached the entrance, they were stopped by two powerful and strict gatekeepers. And they had golden clubs with them. Their names were Jaya and Vijaya. Can you name them?
Jaya and Vijaya.
Jaya and Vijaya. So they stopped the boys at the gate itself
Prabhu, I know this story.
and told them that, boys, We will permit only those who are pure and free from sin into Vaikuntham. We don't think you belong here, they said. The boys were very much annoyed with it. And they were sages, remember. So they cursed Jaya and Vijaya to take birth in the material world. What was the curse? To take birth in the material world. Now, can you tell me what is, which is the material world?
It is outside.
Earth.
Earth, earth, correct.
Earth.
So they have to take birth on earth because of the curse. Now, what will be the difference between life at Vaikunta and the life at material world?
In Vaikunta, they will be immortal, while in the earth, they will be immortal.
Yeah, they will have a heavenly life at the Vaikunta. But if somebody comes to material world, they have to take birth, then they have to face death, disease, old age, and all those troubles. So it is a yeah, it is a kind of depromotion to Jaya and Vijaya, right? Yeah. Now there was all this trouble going on with the gatekeepers and the four boys. Suddenly, the Lord of Vaikunta appeared at the gate. He knew what had happened there. And on seeing Lord Krishna, Jaya and Vijaya prostrated in front of him and requested Lord Krishna to save them from the curse. But Lord Krishna said, "These four boys are my devotees. I cannot take away their curse. But I shall give you two choices. Number one, you may live in the material world 7 lifetimes.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Prabhu. Hare Krishna Prabhu. Prabhu, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji. I think there is some range issue in Prabhu's place.
Mataji, yes, Mataji. Hare Krishna Prabhu. Hare Krishna Prabhu കേൾക്കുന്നുണ്ടോ? Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Okay Prabhu, continue.
Okay, everything is visible, right? Video is also visible, right?
No Prabhu, no video.
No video now. Okay, I think okay, just a second.
Okay Prabhu, okay.
Okay. No. So finally, Jaya and Vijaya decided to be born as enemies of Lord Krishna so that they can go back to the spiritual world more quickly, right? And one rainy night during heavy lightning and thunder, they took birth as Daman babies, Rakshasas. Okay, the elder one was named as Hiranyakashipu, who later became the father of Prahlad. So Hiranyakashipu grew up as a fierce and terrible Daman. He was very ambitious. He had two wishes. He wanted to rule the whole universe, but the demigods, they were already ruling the universe. So he started a war with all those devas, demigods. Then that was his first ambition, to rule the world, rule the whole universe. Now, the second ambition was to live forever. He was very his wish was fulfilled. So, what he did, he stood in penance on his toes for many years with his arms held high in the air. He stood there for so long that he turned into a skeleton and was covered by a giant anthill. But at that stage also, even as a skeleton, his mental powers were very high. He controlled nature with the natural forces with all his powers. And from his head, there came a scorching heat, which pushed the whole universe unbearably hot. Now, that is a big trouble for everybody, right? So, people from all the planets approached Lord Brahma to stop his threat. So, they requested Lord Brahma to interfere in the issue with Hiranyakashipu. So, Lord Brahma appeared in front of Hiranyakashipu and said, "Your mystic powers are disturbing everyone. Do you need anything from me to stop your meditation?" Then Hiranyakashipu demanded, "Lord, grant me a boon that I shall live forever." But Lord Brahma said, "It is not possible. Lord and his servants in the spiritual world can live forever. Rest everybody have to face the death." Hiranyakashipu was disappointed. Then he thought, "In that case, can you please grant me boon that I shall not be killed during the day or at night?" Brahma said, "Okay, that is possible. Then I should not be killed inside or outside any home." That also was granted. Then he said, "I should not be killed on the ground or in the sky, and never by a man or a beast." So these all conditions he added upon it, and nor by any weapon. So it's difficult. Not coming up with video. Okay. So he has asked for so many things now. He has asked the Brahma, Lord Brahma, to grant him a boon that he should not be killed during the day or at night, inside or outside the house, on the ground or in the sky, by man or a beast, or by any weapon. Lord Brahma granted the boon and disappeared. Hiranyakashipu was very happy that he tricked the Lord Brahma to live forever. Now, Hiranyakashipu was in fight with, in war with the Devas, right? Now let's see what happened to Hiranyakashipu's kingdom. While Hiranyakashipu was doing penance in the mountains, demigods attacked his palace. In the palace, they found Hiranyakashipu's wife. Her name was Kayadhu, and she was pregnant at that time. So who was Kayadhu? She was Hiranyakashipu's wife. Now, since she was pregnant, the Devas were afraid that she would give birth to a great demon like Hiranyakashipu. So they forced Kayadhu to take her away. But suddenly, the great sage Narada Muni appeared there. And he said, release this woman immediately, said Narada. The child within her body is a great devotee of Krishna. I shall protect her and teach her how to love God. Do you have any idea that who was that child?
Prahlada.
Prahlad. Very correct. Okay. So Prahlad was in Kayadhu's body. Okay. So Kayadhu went with Narada Muni. While Kayadhu listened to the teachings of Narada Muni, the baby Prahlad was also listening that from within his mother's body. Thus, Prahlad became a devotee of Krishna even before he was born. He learned Hare Krishna Mahamantra before taking birth in this world itself. Now, can you tell me who was Prahlad's first guru?
Narada Maharshi.
Narada.
Muni.
Yes.
Narada Muni.
Yeah, Narada Maharshi was taking, giving lessons to his mother, and Prahlad had it from mother's body and learned all those things, right? By the time Prahlad was born, Hiranyakashipu became the most powerful king in the universe. He was very cruel and ordered everyone to worship him with the Om Hiranyaya Namaha mantra. Okay. And he declared that I am the God and you need to worship me with Om Hiranyaya Namah. He forced even the demigods to take orders from him. But from the very first, he could not control his little son Prahlad. His thundering voice never frightened Prahlad. So he was living like that for some time in that palace. When he was 5 years old, he was put to a Daman school for his studies. And do you know what was the teachings there? The teachers taught the children how to become wicked Damans. So that was the study going on in that school. But though Prahlad was sitting in the class, he thought of his real teacher Narada Muni and about Krishna all the time. After a few months, king asked for his son. When Prahlad arrived, he asked, what did you learn so far, my dear child? Then Prahlad said, I learned that everything belongs to Lord Krishna and we are the servants of God. No, shouted Hiranyakashipu. Everything belongs to me, not Krishna. And shouted at the teachers whether who was teaching all this. Sorry, can you hear? Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Yes.
Okay. So when Prahlad came back to palace just for a short visit, Hiranyakashipu, his father, asked him, "What did you learn so far from the school?" Then Prahlad said, "I learned that everything belongs to Lord Krishna and we are the servants of God." And Hiranyakashipu didn't like it. Hiranyakashipu didn't like it. He scolded the teachers for this kind of teachings. Then they said that we don't know who was teaching all this, but we were teaching about the demons and how to become a wicked demon. He was sent back to the school again. Some more months passed. Hiranyakashipu once again called his son Prahlad. This time, his teachers were sure that Prahlad was better educated. Soon, when he reached the palace, Hiranyakashipu called him to called near him and asked him, "My dear son, what is the best thing you learned from your teachers?" Then he replied, "There are 9 ways to worship God, and a person who knows these 9 ways knows everything worth knowing." The king got furious. He threw the child onto the floor and shouted at the teachers. He was not at all happy, and he ordered, "Demons, take away this boy. He is my enemy and a devotee of Krishna. He deserves to be killed." Prahlad was immediately taken away by the demon soldiers. And they were talking about chopping him and piercing him with the weapons. And they tried to kill him using weapons, but couldn't even make a scratch on his body. And all this time, Prahlad was praying Hare Krishna mantra. When they were unable to kill him using any weapons, the soldiers thought about killing him using a killer elephant. A killer elephant is an elephant which is trained to trample and kill enemies. When the elephant saw Prahlad, he was furious. He stood over Prahlad, waving its head from side to side. Then the elephant swung on its trunk and pulled Prahlad and placed on his back and safely walked away. And all were surprised to see that. Even Hiranyakashipu was disappointed. And he shouted, "Get that child immediately here. He is making my life miserable." Now, since 2 attempts failed, he thought to throw him into a snake pit. So, as soon as he ordered this, Prahlad was put into a snake pit. Snake pit is just like a well, and it was full of venomous snakes. The demons threw Prahlad into the snake pit. The snakes made angry hissing sounds, but Prahlad stood completely still and he started praying the God. Then one large snake glided towards him and raised his head and held it over Prahlad's head as if to protect him. When the gods came back, they were surprised to see that Prahlad is alive and the snakes are behaving as if they were his pet animals. So the snakes became pet animals of Prahlad. this boy must have some power over animals, said Hiranyakashipu. Hiranyakashipu thought that he can charm the animals for not attacking him. Now he thought, this time I will throw him down from the top of a high mountain so that he will hit the rocks below and die instantly. He took Prahlad to the top of a mountain and gave him a good push. Prahlad fell, turning round and round in the air and headed towards the rock below. All of a sudden, Krishna appeared from nowhere and caught Prahlad from falling onto the rock. So Krishna, Lord Krishna appeared there and saved Prahlad from falling onto the rock. Now, once again, Prahlad was safely back to his palace. In anger, Hiranyakashipu shouted to him, "You are always talking about supreme power, who is not me. Even you are teaching other kids about him. Then where is he? Why can't I see him? Is he in this pillar?" Then Prahlad replied, "Yes, my Lord is present everywhere." Hiranyakashipu got angry and he shouted, "It's all nonsense. I'm going to cut off your head now." And he jumped from the throne in anger. Just then, a fearful sound came from the pillar. A magnificent figure jumped out of the pillar with a thundering sound. And his top half looked like a lion and bottom half like a man. He was the special form of Lord Krishna called Lord Narasimha. Now, Lord Narasimha assured Prahlad not to worry. He menacingly looked at Hiranyakashipu with burning eyes and sharp teeth. He approached Hiranyakashipu. But Hiranyakashipu was overconfident about his long life, which was promised by Lord Brahma. Right? They fought each other for some time. And then Lord Narasimha pounced on Hiranyakashipu, got hold of him and placed him on his lap, placed the king on his lap, and very easily tore him into pieces with the nails of the hand. Using his nails in his hand, he cut him into pieces. Now, Lord Narasimha killed Hiranyakashipu without breaking Lord Brahma's promise. What was the promise? Neither inside nor outside. He should not be killed neither inside the palace nor outside the palace. So Lord Narasimha killed him in the doorway itself. So doorway is not inside the palace nor outside the palace. So in the doorway he was killed. And when he was killed, neither during the day nor in the night. It was twilight at that time. Now, Lord Narasimha, as I told you, he is half beast and half a man. So neither he is a beast, fully beast, nor fully a man, nor by any weapon. He was killed by Lord Narasimha's sharp nails. So Lord Narasimha obeyed whatever Lord Brahma promised Hiranyakashipu. Then Lord Narasimha sat on the throne of Hiranyakashipu. No one dared to approach him. Only Prahlad came forward and bowed in front of him. The Lord was happy to see his little devotee. What is your desire, son? Lord asked. Then Prahlad replied, there are so many people in the world who are running after money, clothes, and jewels. What are these in comparison with you? I want nothing for myself. Though people are running after money, clothes, jewels, etc., I don't want anything for myself. If you are willing to give me something, then you give me, or please allow me to serve my teacher, Narada Muni. And what was his work? Narada Muni's work? He was teaching people how to chant Hare Krishna. So Prahlad wanted to help his teacher Narada Muni in his great work of teaching people how to chant Hare Krishna. So instead of material things, Prahlad wished for the blessings of Lord Krishna and a chance to help his guru in his teaching. So what is the moral of this story? Don't go after any material things, but think about Lord Krishna and pray to him. Okay, so this is the moral. I hope you enjoyed the story. How was it? Did you enjoy the story?
Yes. Prabhu, what is material?
Say again.
What is materialistic?
Message. You're asking about the message.
Material.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, he's asking what is
Material.
material, materialized, right?
Material aspects, right? See, Prahlad himself explained, people are running after money, clothes, jewels, etc., right? Those are material things. That is there only in only on earth. People are very much interested to save money and purchase clothes, etc. But when you compare with the God's love, all these things are nothing. If you have God's blessings, everything will be with you, right? So those things are called material things. Okay. So with this, we are closing down today's class.
Thank you, Prabhu. Thank you, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, thank you.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Thank you, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Hare.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhu.
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna.
Prabhuji. Thank you.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Thank you. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.